ये तेरा नया के साथ क्या चल रहा है?
क्यों क्या हुआ?
वो आई थी सुबह।
क्या बोली?
यही कि तू बात नहीं कर रहा ना। क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वो लड़की है। और क्या प्रॉब्लम है? प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मैं चाहता हूँ मेरी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम ही ना हो, लेकिन अगर मेरी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो ना, ये उसकी लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। एंड बुलशिट शी इज वरीड यार, उसे तो सेलिब्रेट करना चाहिए बिकॉज़ इजंट दिस एग्जैक्टली व्हाट शी वांट्स। सीरियसली यार, आजकल तो जब वो मुंह खोलते हैं मन करता है मुंह में कुछ ठूकूं। तो उसने यार 6 महीने में हैड इट ऑल, सब देख लिया मैंने। अबे कौन सा प्यार, कैसी रिलेशनशिप, काय की खुशियां। रिलेशनशिप का मतलब ही होता है एंड टू योर ओन हैप्पीनेस। इसके बाद ऑल यू गॉट टू वरी अबाउट इज उसकी खुशियां, उसका बर्थडे, उसके कुत्ते का बर्थडे, उसका न्यू ईयर, कभी तुम्हारा भी न्यू ईयर था। इन लड़कियों को ना कोई खुश नहीं रख सकता। हैप्पी वुमन इज अ मिथ। तू बैटमैन वाली को देख ले, साला जब तक बैटमैन नहीं बना तब तक बोलती रही तुम तो कुछ करते नहीं हो, ना कारा हो, ना पुंसक हो, मैं तुम जैसे इंसान के साथ कैसे रह सकती हूँ। जिस दिन बेचारा बैटमैन बन गया उस दिन बोली तुम तो बैटमैन बन गए। अरे मुझे तो एक नॉर्मल इंसान चाहिए था, मैं तुम्हारे साथ कैसे रह सकती हूँ। सब साला ना कहानियों का दोष है। ब्लडी बॉलीवुड रोमांटिक मसाला, एक लड़का एक लड़की दोनों को प्यार हुआ, दोनों साथ साथ फिल्म खत्म। इसके बाद की स्टोरी कोई नहीं बताता, इसके बाद की कहानी मैं बताता हूँ। इसके बाद लड़के ने लड़की को 2 दिन हक नहीं किया तो प्रॉब्लम, हक किया तो जेब हो रहे हो, इतना भी अच्छा नहीं लगता। साली शॉपिंग खत्म नहीं होती इनकी। पहले कुशन जाए फिर कर्टन जाए, फिर कुशन कर्टन से मैच नहीं किया तो और कुशन जाए। साले मग इतने हैं मेरे यार कि उन्हें बेचने जाऊं तो महीने का खर्चा निकल आए। एक तो जो चीज खरीदने जाएंगे वो चीज खरीदनी नहीं आएगी। 2 हफ्ते दिमाग चाटेंगे, टेबल लेना है, टेबल लेना है, 5 घंटे मॉल में बिता के एक सड़ी सी चप्पल उठा के ले आएंगे और फिर अगले 2 हफ्ते दिमाग चाटेंगे, टेबल लेना है, टेबल लेना है। ऑफिस में काम कर रहा हूँ, फोन आ जाएगा, फोन उठाते ही बोल देता हूँ बात नहीं कर सकता। कितना मुश्किल है बात समझना। 2 मिनट कर लोगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? अरे 2 मिनट कर लूंगा तो तुझे क्या मिल जाएगा? मेरी माँ ठीक से तो कर पाऊंगा नहीं। और इसके बाद आई लव यू बोले बिना फोन काटा तो नाटक। सबसे ज्यादा दिमाग की दही इस मोबाइल फोन ने की। कतई घटिया रेंजर है साली। कॉन्स्पिरेसी पट्टा है साला पट्टा। एक तो उनकी ऐड भी देखो ना, लो जी 1 पैसे पर सेकंड और फोन करो और फोन करो। अरे कॉल सुस्ती हो जाती है, बात थोड़ी ना बढ़ जाती करने को। फिर इसका जवाब उन्हें भी दो, तुम्हारे पास बात क्यों नहीं करने को? यू हैव लॉस्ट इंटरेस्ट इन मी। तुम्हें हूं ही करना था तो मैंने तुम्हें फोन क्यों किया? अरे मेरी माँ मुझे क्या पता तूने मुझे फोन क्यों किया? जाके भारती मित्तल से पूछना। तुझे मैं बता रहा हूँ उस ऐड में ना वो कुत्ता नहीं कुतिया है। सीरियसली शर्त लगा सकता हूँ। मेरे भाई को वी फॉलो। तुझे क्या लगता है कोलंबस को पता नहीं था कि वो इंडिया नहीं जा रहा, गलती से पहुंच गया? नहीं, उसको पता था। वो बेचारा तो कहीं दूर जाना चाहता था, बीवी के चक्कर में बोलना पड़ा इंडिया जा रहा हूँ, नहीं तो 10 सवाल पूछती कहाँ जा रहे हो, क्यों जा रहे हो। अच्छा तुम्हें पता भी नहीं कहाँ जा रहे हो? सीधे सीधे क्यों नहीं बोलते मुझसे कहीं दूर जाना चाहते हो? आज तक बेचारे का मजाक उड़ाती है दुनिया। ऑफिस में काम कर रहा हूँ, एसएमएस आ जाएगा आई लव यू। ठीक है मैं भी एसएमएस कर देता हूँ आई लव यू टू। इसके बाद एसएमएस पे एसएमएस शुरू। अबे काम क्या करती है ऑफिस में? 2 एसएमएस पे रिप्लाई मत करना, तुरंत फोन आएगा। फोन मत उठा तो 10 मिनट में मैसेज आ चुका होगा आई डोंट थिंक इट्स वर्किंग एनीमोर। 10 मिनट में बाबू आई लव यू से आई डोंट थिंक इट्स वर्किंग एनीमोर। एंड दिस इज व्हेन वी आर नॉट इवन डाउन। अब पता चला ये आदमियों को इतने हार्ट अटैक क्यों आते हैं और ये बंदे इतने सक्सेसफुल क्यों होते हैं? बिकॉज़ दे डोंट हैव अ वुमन टू स्क्रू देयर हैप्पीनेस ना। लोग कहते हैं ना कि बिहाइंड एवरी सक्सेसफुल मैन देयर इज अ वुमन। ट्रू, बट कोई ये नहीं बताता कि बिहाइंड एवरी अनसक्सेसफुल मैन आल्सो देयर इज अ वुमन। और ये तो कोई भी बता सकता है ना कि अनसक्सेसफुल लोगों की तादाद सक्सेसफुल लोगों से कई गुना ज्यादा है इस दुनिया में। चलो ऑफिस में काम कर रहा हूँ, कह रहा हूँ लेट हो जाऊंगा तो खाना नहीं खाएगी, फिर भूखी सो जाएगी। अरे मैं कह रहा हूँ खा लो तो दिक्कत, क्या करूँ नौकरी छोड़ दूँ? फिर साले घर जाओ, पहले इन्हें मनाओ, इन्हें खिलाओ, इनके बाद खुद की भूख तो वैसे ही मर जाती है। इस सब के बाद भी अगर इंसान किसी तरह कोने में जाकर शांति से बैठा हुआ है ना चुपचाप, तो क्या घड़ी घड़ी क्या सोच रहे हो, क्या सोच रहे हो, क्या सोच रहे हो? अरे कुछ नहीं सोच रहा मेरी माँ, ये सोच रहा तेरा मुंह कैसे बंद करूं? क्या सोच रहे हो? कैमरा लगा दूं दिमाग में? इस सब के बाद we never talk, we need to talk. I don't think it's working anymore. मैं तुझे बता रहा हूँ you cannot discuss anything with a woman because they call it a discussion, but any discussion with a woman is an argument. और आर्ग्यूमेंट में तो तू बॉस उनसे जीत ही नहीं सकता बिकॉज हम आदमियों की एक बेसिक नीड होती है टू मेक सेंस इन एन आर्ग्यूमेंट। लड़कियों को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता सेंस की बेकार सी चीज की वजह से वो आर्ग्यूमेंट कैसे हार जाए। एक तो आज की बात पे आर्गुमेंट आज हो गई नहीं, आज की बात पे झगड़ा होगा 2 महीने बाद। यहाँ साला याद भी नहीं होता है 2 महीने पहले हुआ क्या था। लड़कियां बचा के रखती है ये छोटा हथियार नहीं बड़ा हथियार है, इसे बड़ी लड़ाई में यूज करेंगे। तू कभी ट्राई कर लियो खुद को सही साबित करने की, तुझे लग ही रहा होगा कि इस पॉइंट से तो अपनी बात को साबित कर लेगा, लेकिन तभी एक आवाज आएगी उंगली नीचे करो। तूने ध्यान भी नहीं दिया होगा लेकिन तेरी एक नादान सी उंगली उनकी तरफ पॉइंट कर रही होगी। सडनली द होल आर्गुमेंट विल फ्लश डाउन द गटर और मुद्दा ये रह जाएगा हाउ डेयर यू पॉइंट अ फिंगर एट मी। किसने बनाया रूल? किसने? साला वो बीच आर्गुमेंट में तुम्हें जूता फेंक के मार दे तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, लेकिन तुम उनकी तरफ एक उंगली पॉइंट कर दो सारा मुद्दा खत्म, वो सही तुम गलत। शादी के पहले वो नागिन नहीं क्यों बजता है? क्योंकि ना बैंड वाला भी तुम्हें चेतावनी दे रहा होता है कौन आ रहा है तुम्हारी जिंदगी में। इनका सिग्नेचर ट्यून है वो। अब ये बता वो क्या करने आई थी तेरे पास यार? सेम चीज मैं करूँ तो उसके किसी फ्रेंड को कॉल करके अपनी प्रॉब्लम गिनाऊं तो कहेगी अच्छा तुमने मेरी फ्रेंड को कॉल किया? तुम उनकी सिंपैथी नहीं करना चाहते हो? Why don't you go and sleep with her? It's ridiculous यार।
वो उंगली वाला मेरे साथ भी हुआ है।
Sunbelt's the largest business brokerage firm in the world. We've been doing business for more than 30 years. We sell thousands of businesses a year. So no matter what your business is, we've probably sold a business like it in the past and have a huge body of knowledge to work from.
Let's face it, Sharks, shed happens. But now, there's a way to prevent dog hair disasters. Introducing the Shed Defender.
Ta-da!
It's a onesie that contains the dog hair within the suit. It can be used in the car, the house, family and friends' houses, or anywhere you don't want to leave a trail of hair.
So that is how it works. Thank you.
So you can see the zipper down there at the bottom.
You're killing it.
I really like it. So I'll give you the $250,000.
I'll do it for 33%.
Deal.
We will get you a million views or you don't pay. If you give me 15 seconds, I'll explain exactly how this works. First, we build a tailored strategy for exactly what's working in your niche, and then implement a content system that works for you, so all you have to do is sit down and film for 1 to 2 hours a month. Next, we place a highly trained editor from my network into your business. They do everything from editing to posting across all platforms. They just handle it for you. And then we implement our organic content funnel into your business using the same exact model that made us $100,000 a month in profit. Fully automated, requires literally zero tech, could be bringing you clients as soon as tomorrow. After 3 months of posting, our average client is getting over 15.5 million organic views. And with the systems that we have also converting those actual views into real clients, they're doing an incredible amount in revenue. So if you just want to see how easily we can implement this in your business, click the link below. I'll show you how you can get started.
If you click on this video, chances are you've already launched your mobile app or you're about to, and you're now asking, how do I get users to actually care about this thing? And more importantly, how do I get them to pay? And you don't just want any downloads, you want high quality downloads with real users who are going to give you feedback, who are going to engage and use your product and eventually pay for it. That magical first 10,000 users. And I know how impossible it feels to hit those first 10,000 users when you're first starting out. I've been there, grinding out the early days, launching apps that got zero traction, until I figured out a repeatable marketing system that helped me scale to over 1 million users and $44,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And I've done this time and time again. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact 4-step strategy that I used to get my first 10,000 users. And if you watch this video until the end, you will walk away with a real, no-fluff growth plan that you can apply today, even if you're starting at zero. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the blueprint to get your first 10,000 users. And even if you're beyond 10,000 users, this blueprint can work forever. Even to your first million, 10 million users, right? If you can just get one user to your app, if you can just get 10 users to your app, you can scale to a million. The hardest downloads, the hardest users to get are the first few. So whether you're a beginner or whether you're a seasoned veteran in the app game, this blueprint will help you because we're going to go all the way from identifying your viral marketing message, market research, hiring and finding content creators, all the way to scaling with paid ads. And I'm going to break it down as simply as possible. But first, thank you so much to everyone who has been subscribing to the channel. Just hit 39,000 subscribers. It means the world that you are all enjoying the content and the value that I drop for absolutely free. So if you get any value from me, this video, or my channel in general, I would definitely appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. And also drop a comment, drop a like on the video. If you do that, it will tell the YouTube algorithm that you want to watch more content like this, content that actually teaches you something instead of the boring, lame, brain rot videos that we all watch on YouTube, right? Show the algorithm that you want to learn and it will show you more content like this. So let's get into the blueprint. Okay, so we're going to start off by identifying your viral marketing message. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to show you an absolute cheat code, which is sharing your product on subreddits. And this is something that you can do in the next hour and will definitely drive you some valuable users. If you didn't know, Reddit is one of the most viewed sites on the internet. I think it's like top 10 most viewed sites worldwide every single year. And there are a bunch of subreddits that are dedicated to startup founders like yourself. For example, SaaS or Side Project or Programming, right? These are all subreddits that have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of users in each one of them, right? Side Project has 403,000 members, SaaS has 300K members, Programming 6.8 million members, Playground Product 1.3K members. These are all subreddits that you as a founder can post in today, and you can share your project in these subreddits, right? So what you do is you drop a post in these subreddits, and some of them can go insanely viral. Like we'll sort by all time, top performing, boom. These get thousands and thousands and thousands of views and engagements, and you can look at the comments here, and people are giving real feedback to all these posts, right? So definitely leverage Reddit and share your products there, but don't just spam your product link. Be helpful, be real, engage, and share your experience as a founder. Drive value, provide value to the community on Reddit, and people will respect that, and they'll engage with your product, and they'll try your products out. Some of them might even pay for it. Some of them might even use it for a long time, right? This is an easy way for you to get the first couple users into your project, and if your post on Reddit goes viral, it can hit the homepage, and it can drive you insane results. I have some friends in the space who only use Reddit to grow their products. I spoke to a founder friend the other day who generated hundreds of thousands of dollars all strictly through Reddit. Don't sleep on Reddit. It's an easy way to get your product out there, get your first couple users, and these users will give you actual feedback on your product. So, little cheat code for the start of the video there, post your product on Reddit. If you want to download this entire blueprint document, I will share it with you in the description, so go ahead and click the link in the description. But let's get into it. Identifying your viral marketing message. Where I see founders go wrong time and time again is when they're making content about their product, the content is about their product. Right? And that might sound counterintuitive, but in reality, no one on social media cares about your product. And if you're only talking about your products and you're only talking about the features, it's going to be a boring piece of content, and it's not going to get views. And if you can't get views, it doesn't matter how well your video converts, you're not going to get any users from that, right? Your product is not what people care about. People care about what your product can do for them. So you don't want to sell the features, you want to sell the transformation. The most important part of creating content is making it feel natural to the algorithm. If anyone watching a video feels like it's an ad automatically, you lose it. So I'm going to show you two examples of this. One is for Puff Count. This is one of my best performing videos in terms of getting downloads to the app. I want you to look at this video and tell me where the call to action happens. And tell me how hard I sold the product in this video.
Crazy that people will smoke these without knowing what's inside. So I'm going to show you. On the outside, we have the colorful metal casing, a 3.7 volt 500 milliamp battery, and a coil wrapped in soaked cotton. Check out this app if you need to quit. It's kind of crazy.
I only showed the product for 2 seconds in that video. I'm going to show you another example from Calais. This app does $3 million per month in monthly recurring revenue. Watch this ad. This ad got 55,000 likes, mine got 476,000 likes. That should show you that you don't need to sell the product for that long in your video. I think the reason that people struggle to create content like that is number one, they don't do market research, but number two, you're trying to do everything in one step of the funnel, right? Your marketing is a funnel, and this is how you should look at it, right? There are different steps that each one of your users needs to take to get to the ultimate goal, which is them purchasing your product, right? So each one of these is a different step in your funnel. And the only goal of the step above is to get to the next step. The only goal of getting a view on TikTok or any short-form content is to get them to check out the app on the App Store. We're not trying to get them to download it. We're not trying to explain the entire app like the onboarding should. We're not trying to get them to buy in-app purchases on the TikTok. The only step is to get them interested in the app, interested enough to go to the App Store, right? You don't have to do all of it because these next steps should do the rest of the work for you, right? Your App Store listing should encourage them to download. After they download, the onboarding should encourage them to purchase. So you don't have to do it all from your marketing, from your ad or your video. You don't have to do it all. You're only trying to get them to take action and do the next step. That's why these videos make so much sense, right? We're not trying to sell the entire product because that's going to feel like an ad. It's not going to perform on social media. We're trying to engage our ideal target customer in our video and then present our product in front of them. Get them interested enough and sell the transformation. This guy's jacked. This one we're talking about how crappy vapes are for you, right? We're selling the transformation. What general problem does your app solve and how can we present that in a video? And the easiest way to get familiar with this type of content, the content that actually performs, is do market research within your niche. So transparently, I saw a video where someone was taking part of vape and showing how bad it was, and I knew that piece of content would convert well for my brand. So if I was building another quit vaping app, I would go on TikTok and I would type in quit vaping, and you can sort these videos by most popular of all time. So boom, I would go through and see that this girl has 3.7 million 3.7 million likes on her video, right? So this is clearly a concept that is going to track, right? You can take this concept and you can run with it. Or if I'm a calorie tracking app, I go and look up tracking calories. So boom, this is an easy concept. This video is 14 seconds long. It's text on the screen. Oh, here we go. It's for a calorie tracking app. There we go, right? Like that's it. Doing market research and understanding that you don't need to sell the product super hard in your content is what is going to work. So once you have identified your viral marketing message and you've done enough market research to understand what winning content looks like for your product, for your brand, then you can start to scale it. Then you can start to hire creators. Then you can start to make 1, 2, 3 videos every single day. And another thing you should be doing is capitalizing on trends for low-hanging fruit views, right? Every day there's a new TikTok sound that is trending, or an Instagram reel sound that is trending. Use those sounds, use those trends to create winning videos for your product. For example, we go back to Puff Count. Where's the win is a win?
A win is a win.
That was a viral sound. That was a viral trend happening. A win is a win sound. And I used that sound to promote my product. And that video got 33,000 views just because I capitalized on the sound, because this sound and this trend is doing very well on TikTok. This is an easy way. If you can identify trends and integrate your products in a sly way into these videos, you'll crush it.
A win is a win.
That was it. A win is a win, right? This trend is going crazy. 121,000 videos within this trend. All you have to do is watch one of these videos within this trend. And you get the idea, right? You just need to use these trends to your advantage when you're promoting your product. Okay, once you've identified winning trends and you put together enough market research, now you can create the content or hire a team of creators. And this is the ultimate hack right now because creator marketing is still undervalued. There's so many creators out there, creators who are willing to work for you and create content for your brand at a very, very low cost. And again, if you want to stay at $0 of spend, you can create the content yourself, right? You do the market research and you can make videos like you found within the market research. But I'm going to show you how to hire creators on a results-only basis. And you can do that all through postitapp.com. Now on Post, you have a couple different options. You can launch a contest, but we are going to be talking about the deals feature. So with deals, you can actually get content risk-free. So we are currently using the deals feature to promote the app itself. And I'll show you how many downloads we've gotten in the past week. So in the past week, using the deals feature, we've gotten 4,000 downloads. Might not seem like a lot, but we are targeting a small niche of people, UGC content creators or content creators in general, who want to use the app and get paid. It's more of a niche app. So this is actually killer for us, and we are getting all of the installs through the deals feature. So what you're going to do is take all of your learnings from the previous part here, right? Identifying your viral marketing message and your market research, and you are going to build a brief. So you're going to build a product overview, some rules, choose where you want the creators to be from, and then you're going to upload those viral videos that you found from your market research into Post It Here. And what's going to happen is creators are going to make videos for you that you can watch for free. So boom, we have 30 videos that are waiting for our review. They're loaded in here. So boom, all of these creators have created pieces of content and they have put a bid here. So we can watch any one of these videos, right?
This video made your best.
I literally made almost $500 in 3 separate days. Here's the proof if you don't believe me. This.
So these creators have all created content for us, and they put a bid here, right? So this is how much this creator wants to get paid. This creator has 769 followers, so that seems a bit overpriced, but actually the last video that she did for us hit 40,000 views, which is insane. That's one of our better performing videos. And you can see, this creator here has 529,000 followers, and they only want the content for $110. I want to emphasize, I paid $0 for all this content. And now I can simply watch the videos, and if I love the video, and I think the bid is fair, then I can accept these. So this is a risk-free way for you to get a lot of content from a lot of different creators. As you can see, we've accepted 17 different videos. We spent around $1,500 generating 4,000 views. So that's 37 cents per download. Not bad. So you can use the deals feature to get content risk-free for your product. And we also have a new feature that is called CPM. So very similar, except for this time you're only paying creators on a CPM basis. Meaning, you can choose how much you want to pay the creator per 1,000 views to get you. If you want to go seriously risk-free, this is the way to do it. Because again, you can review the videos, and you can approve whatever you're comfortable with approving, and then the creators will only be paid on a rate per 1,000 views that they generate. So you can try to post it out completely for free. It's the easiest, headache way free to get content and start working with creators today. And the beautiful thing about working with creators on Posted is you own all the winning content for life. So you're actually going to own all this content that you've approved forever. You're going to own the MP4 file itself. You can download the video and you can post it anywhere across different social medias like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. You can post it anywhere you like. And we'll also give you the ad code so that you can run Spark ads on TikTok. And as you see, this video got 22,000 views, this video got 47,000 views, and there are some here that didn't hit. That's okay. That's part of the game, right? Whenever you're creating content or paying creators to create content, some of it's not going to work. You're never going to get a 100% hit rate on your content, whether you're creating it or someone else's, right? Now, once we have identified what content is getting the most views for us, and more importantly, what content is driving the most results, the most installs for the app, that is when we can take that winning content and scale it with paid ads. And this is going to sound very simple, but that's it. What's getting the most views for your product, and which videos are driving the most results in terms of App Store downloads, right? And don't get discouraged if the organic videos aren't driving millions and millions of downloads. They won't, right? And that's why we leverage paid ads, because with paid ads, there will actually be a call to action on your video. Just an organic video itself has to be very powerful and very good for someone to swipe out of TikTok and then go to the App Store and search in your product. If you take this content and put it on paid ads, the conversion rate of that content will be so much higher. And a lot of people sleep on paid ads because organic marketing is all the rage right now, and that's where everyone's head is at. And everyone's trying to hack their way to getting free installs without running paid ads. Don't sleep on paid ads. Take your winners, do all of this, post organically, keep your spend at zero, great. But when you have a winner, leverage it with paid ads. And the math problem is very simple. How much are your users earning in your app, and how much can you spend to acquire them? And you might be thinking, how do I calculate my LTV? How do I figure out what each install is generating in terms of revenue in my app? And that's why you should have RevenueCat integrated into your app, because you can pull up this chart here on the left side, realized LTV per customer. This is going to be your realized LTV per download. You can also do realized LTV per paying customer, which will be attached only to your paying customers, right? Because a certain percentage of your downloads will pay and a certain percent won't. But this will include every single download in your app. So what you're going to want to do is go to customer lifetime, set that to unbounded, and then boom, here is your LTV per download, right? This one fluctuates a little bit. Let's go to the monthly here. There we go. So we can tell that each one of our installs per puff count was generating about $1, let's call it. So I now know that as long as I can get installs for less than $1, my app is making money. It's a simple math problem. My LTV is $1.10, let's call it. As long as I can get installs for less than that, our app is making money. So boom, that's it. That's the entire four-step process to finding your first 10,000 users through organic content and then scaling with paid ads. And I want to emphasize that this whole process is never ending. You're always going to be able to optimize your marketing, your message, your videos, your content, your ads. This four-step process should continue going throughout the entire lifetime of your app. You're always looking for new viral marketing messages. As a founder, you should always be doing market research and always identifying new trends and new content formats that you can be leveraging for your products. You should always be hiring and testing out new content creators, and you can definitely do that through Posted. And you should always be testing and scaling your different paid ads. If you want a detailed guide on each one of these, I've dropped multiple videos on market research, on hiring creators, on running paid ads, on finding your viral marketing message. I've dropped videos in detail on all of this, but this is the entire four-step process right here. Don't give up on your products, don't give up on your marketing. Keep grinding, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you stuck around this far, I would appreciate a like on the video and a subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be dropping new videos like this and dropping value every single day. Real quick, by the way, I put together a group of app founders, and we meet twice a week and chat about all things apps and all things marketing. We're all grinding together, looking to find the new marketing strategies for all of our mobile apps. So if you want to be a part of that group, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram at steven.builds. Send me a message, and I'll add you into the group if you want to join.
Create a website that looks like you know what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're doing, because you're using a website that developed a tool that knows exactly what it's doing. GoDaddy Aero. Building a website is the most important thing that we can do for our business. Once you start using GoDaddy Aero, all of a sudden you'll realize you have more design skills than you realize. You're the one asking questions. You're the one saying, yes, no, more of this, or I want less of this. And you can see yourself in this experience. Get the website exactly how you want it, and let the world know you're open for business.
Welcome to High Level. We're an all-in-one platform that gives you everything you need to capture, nurture, and close leads like never before. In High Level, you'll find features like a full CRM, funnel, website, course, marketing automations, and email builders, a consolidated email, SMS, WhatsApp, and social chat stream, reputation management, social media posting, and so much more. And the best part is, High Level is fully white label, which means you can brand the platform and mobile app with your logo and company colors, then resell it to your customers for a monthly subscription that goes straight into your agency's bank account. The powerful combination of software plus your service and expertise will drive your customers' retention and your profits through the stratosphere. Sign up for a 14-day free trial today. With it, drop.
पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए, प्रेजेंट सेंटेंस में होना चाहिए, उसमें ना नहीं होना चाहिए, हाँ वाला सेंटेंस ठीक होना चाहिए। कोई भी अफर्मेशन 3 बार जरूर बोले, लगातार बोलने से वो आपका ब्रह्मनाद बन जाती है। जब so much fun.
On the front lines, you're there when you're needed.
Get this thing rolling.
Before you're needed.
We're all hoping tomorrow will be better than.
David Lowery, what a gifted person and an artist. He's inventive, he's writing, he's directing, he's a genius. The story of Lowery exists beyond words.
We're all hoping tomorrow will be better than today. My name is Bree Crowell, and we're working to build a safer energy system that's more reliable and more affordable in the long run for every Californian. Whether it's stronger poles that can withstand extreme weather, undergrounding lines to prevent wildfires, or installing powerful new technologies to spot problems faster. Our PG&E team knows every connection matters, and we take pride in the things we do. That's why we're proud to help build a better future for our hometowns and yours.
What's the secret to peak health? Going micro with Noom! Micro habits, micro wins, even microdose GLP-1s. Micro? We can do micro. With Noom! We all can!
I'm doing it. I'm going micro. I can do micro.
It's micro season, baby! Micro changes, big results. Get started at Noom.com. Do not micro poop on my shoulder. all done soon?
Yep. And not just with your hair. With the help of Xero accounting software, I've sorted my numbers too. So now I can take my business anywhere.
आज आपको बताना ही पड़ेगा। नहीं, आप बताओ मुझे। ये कंजूस के मैंने चुनी अपने लिए। विरासत में मिली है मुझे।
लास्ट मंथ के फोन बिल में 6 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा दिया मेरी वाइफ ने।
सर इन्वेस्टमेंट अकाउंट में क्रेडिट हो जाएगा।
अब मुझे कैश में रिफंड पड़ा। मैं आता हूँ हेडक्वार्टर, हैं? एक सेकंड।
बराबर 2 ग्लास।
खाली हो गया।
तुम्हारी ना बीमारी बढ़ती जा रही है।
6 रुपए 2 किलो जाता है 6 रुपए में 5499 5,500 नया दोस्त है 6,000 7,000 का दोस्तों गिफ्ट किया हमने हमारा दोस्त का चमक रहा सबसे बड़ा
शादी टूट गई।
तो उसका क्या होगा?
तो वो गिफ्ट तो हमने सब दान कर दिए।
ये मेरा है वापस कीजिए आप। इस सेक्शन में पोस्टर है। I will call the cops. मुझे बचा लो प्लीज। पापा। मैंने किसी के मम्मी कसम मैंने कुछ किया नहीं है।
मर्डर हुआ है। टोस्टर किलर।
तुम ऐसे किसी को कुछ भी नाम दे सकती हो?
रमाकांत।
मैडम
तुम्हारे बच्चे की माँ बनने वाली हूँ।
डॉक्टर पढ़ लिखाई। अभी मेरे को मेरा पोस्टर मांगता है। पोस्टर मम्मा
मेरा टोस्टर भी नहीं लेके गया।
वो पोस्टर मांगता ना था।
मुझे खेलना ही नहीं है। खेलना ही नहीं है मुझे।
क्या है उस टोस्टर में? एनिवर्सरी है। लंच पे कहीं बाहर चले?
हाँ चलते हैं। खुश?
हर सेशन का 500 दे सकते हो सर? आप क्या पूरी बॉडी चॉकलेट? वो हैंडसम चॉकलेट मैन कौन था?
क्यों? मेरे हैंडसम दोस्त नहीं हो सकते क्या?
वैसे अगर बेटी के सामने ऑकवर्ड लगे तो मेरे दोस्त का घर खाली है, तभी हैंडसम दोस्त के साथ प्राइवेसी चाहिए तो
हैंडसम दोस्त का घर भी खाली है।
We are one of the only social media marketing agencies that guarantees a million views or you don't pay. But honestly, that is just what we say for our marketing. If you give me 15 seconds, I'll explain what I'm talking about. So what actually happens is after 90 days of working with us, our average client actually gets 15.5 million views. So yes, we guarantee a million because it's a nice round number and all of our marketing split tests say that sounds better, but the actual average for a client, not just the best ones, the average gets 15.5 after 3 months of posting. And when you get in front of millions of people a month, if you run a business, it becomes hard not to make sales. One of the advantages to social media is that you can do videos like this, be put in front of your ideal audience, just like we are doing right now, and we can give you an opportunity to explain how you can provide value to your customers more than any SEO or website or image ad ever could. And that's why so many of the biggest businesses are moving their marketing over to videos on social media just like this, because they already know it brings in more clients that know, like, and trust them. And if you want to see literally hundreds of client testimonials, case studies showing you exactly how we built this out for ourselves and for our clients, just click the link below.
Hi, I'm Pete from Manus AI. For the past year, we've been quietly building what we believe is the next evolution in AI. And today, we're launching an early preview of Manus, the first general AI agent.
This isn't just another chatbot workflow. It's a truly autonomous agent that bridges the gap between conception and execution. While other AI stops at generating ideas, Manus delivers results. We see it as the next paradigm of human-machine collaboration, and potentially it glimpses into AGI. Now let me show you Manus in action across 3 completely different tasks. Let's start with an easy one. In this example, we'll ask Manus to help screen resumes. I just sent Manus a zip file containing 10 resume documents. Since each Manus session has its own computer, it works like a human. First unzipping the file, then browsing through each resume page by page, and recording important information to documents. Manus works asynchronously in the cloud, which means you can close your laptop anytime, and Manus will notify you when everything is complete. But first, you can also give Manus new instructions at any time. Here I've sent Manus 5 more resumes. After carefully reading all 15 resumes, Manus provides a ranking suggestions along with candidate profiles and evaluation criteria as supporting materials. This is pretty good, but I prefer a spreadsheet. Let's have Manus create one. Manus has its own knowledge and memory, so it can teach Manus that the next time it handles a similar task, it will deliver a spreadsheet right away. In this example, we'll have Manus conduct some research. It needs to filter New York properties based on multiple criteria. For complex tasks, Manus first frequently creates a to-do list. Manus begins by searching and carefully reading articles about the safest neighborhoods. Then Manus researches middle schools in New York. Next, Manus writes a Python program to calculate my budget. Based on my budget, Manus filters listings on real estate websites. Finally, combining all the information gathered, Manus writes a detailed report and compiles all the resources. In this example, we have Manus perform a correlation analysis between stocks. For professional data, Manus can access authoritative data sources through APIs. After validating the required data, Manus begins writing code for data analysis and visualization. For Manus, coding isn't necessarily the goal, but rather a universal tool for solving problems. It looks like Manus has completed the data analysis and visualization. But interactive data visualization is even cooler, so I asked Manus to create a website based on these data. With my permission, Manus deploys the finished website online and provides me with a shareable link. Let's see what Manus has created. What you've just seen is just a small sample of what Manus can do. In fact, on benchmarks designed to evaluate general AI assistance, an early checkpoint of Manus has already achieved state-of-the-art performance, and it's only getting better. Beyond benchmarks, Manus has been solving real-world problems on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, and has proven its capabilities on casual competitions. This wouldn't be possible without the amazing open-source community, which is why we're committed to giving back. Manus operates as a multi-agent system powered by several distinct models. So later this year, we're going to open source some of these models, specifically post-trained for Manus, inviting everyone to explore this agentic future together. The name Manus comes from the famous motto, Mens ad Manus, mind and hand. It embodies the belief that knowledge must be applied to make a meaningful impact on the world. And this is precisely the promise of Manus AI. To extend your capabilities, amplify your impact, and be the hand that brings your mind's vision into reality. We can't wait to see what you will achieve with Manus.
Sunbelt's the largest business brokerage firm in the world. We've been doing business for more than 30 years. We sell thousands of businesses a year, so no matter what your business is, we've probably sold a business like it in the past and have a huge body of knowledge to work from.
Trying on makeup is fun.
India gives every citizen the freedom of choice. की का कोई भी कुछ भी चूज कर सकता है। हमने ये लाइफ चूज की, आपको ये ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ क्यों लग रही है?
Trying on makeup is fun. But trying on makeup is fun. But what if you could really try it on? Even that look you never knew you could pull off. Now you can. Lakme introduces Makeup Pro. Experiment with endless looks at a finger's touch. Try every single shade. Just click, pick, and play. What you see is always what you get. Go subtle, go bold. Play with green, blues, and even gold. Minimize the time. Max out on the fun. The power to try before you buy is now here with Makeup Pro on LakmeIndia.com.
Never, and I mean never say, sorry to bother you. Sorry to bother you. I appreciate your time.
Manus works across your apps and
Quick question. I'm not sure if this makes sense, but here's how I understand it. I'm not 20 anymore, I'm 47. I do articulation training for 9 minutes a day. Now my thoughts come out clean, and my boss asks me for advice. If you want to actually sound smart and take the leadership, train your speaking skills. How long does it take to articulate thoughts into words more clearly with articulation training? How old are you? I'm 47. Perfect. By the end of March, you won't even recognize yourself. But what if my mind literally goes blank in the middle of presentation? It's designed exactly for people like you, professionals over 40 with untrained communication skills. But isn't reading books better? After 20, reading only keeps you busy. It doesn't train real-time responses. Articulation training builds the reflexes that organize your thoughts before you speak. Do I need any equipment? No. Just your phone and 15 minutes a day. In 3 days, you'll know how to practice communication in the most effective way. On day 7, you'll sound more eloquent and confident. On day 14, you'll be the best speaker in any room. So what's the first step? Tap the screen, take the test, and start tomorrow.
Most people think communication is just chit-chat. But in reality, it's one of the most powerful skills you can master. The way you speak reveals how you think, how confident you are, and how other people perceive you. Once you understand how to train it, you can strengthen your presence, express yourself clearly, and connect with anyone. Ready to become unrecognizable? Take the quick test now and get a personalized communication mastery plan. Just tap the screen and get started.
Hims makes hair regrowth simple as popping a daily chew. Through Hims, you can grow thicker, fuller hair in just 3 to 6 months with an orange-flavored chew powered by finasteride and minoxidil. Ditch complicated solutions with expensive costs and simplify your routine with this doctor-trusted treatment that fits seamlessly into your lifestyle and starts at less than $2 a day. This is convenient hair care made just for you. Regrow your hair with 1 chew a day. Start today at Hims.com.
Hi, my name is Cameron Russell. And for the last little while, I've been a model. Actually, for 10 years. And I feel like there's an uncomfortable tension in the room right now because I should not have worn this dress. So luckily, I brought an outfit change. This is the first outfit change on the TED stage. So you guys are pretty lucky to witness it, I think. If some of the women were really horrified when I came out, you don't have to tell me now, but I'll find out later on Twitter. I'd also note that I'm quite privileged to be able to transform what you think of me in a very brief 10 seconds. Not everybody gets to do that. These heels are very uncomfortable, so good thing I wasn't going to wear them. The worst part is putting this sweater over my head because that's when you all laugh at me, so don't do anything while it's over my head. All right. So why did I do that? That was awkward. Hopefully not as awkward as that picture. Image is powerful, but also image is superficial. I just totally transformed what you thought of me in 6 seconds. And in this picture, I had actually never had a boyfriend in real life. I was totally uncomfortable, and the photographer was telling me to arch my back and put my hand in that guy's hair. And of course, barring surgery, or the fake tan that I got 2 days ago for work, there's very little that we can do to transform how we look. And how we look, though it is superficial and immutable, has a huge impact on our lives. So today, for me, being fearless means being honest. And I am on this stage because I'm a model. I'm on this stage because I am a pretty white woman. And in my industry, we call that a sexy girl. And I'm going to answer the questions that people always ask me, but with an honest twist. So the first question is, how do you become a model? And I always just say, oh, I was scouted, but that means nothing. The real way that I became a model is I won a genetic lottery, and I'm the recipient of a legacy. And maybe you're wondering, what is a legacy? Well, for the past few centuries, we have defined beauty not just as health and youth and symmetry that we're biologically programmed to admire, but also as tall, slender figures and femininity and white skin. And this is a legacy that was built for me, and it's a legacy that I've been cashing out on. And I know there are people in the audience who are skeptical at this point. And maybe there are some fashionistas who are like, wait, Naomi, Tyra, Joan Smalls, Lu Wen. And first, I commend you on your model knowledge, very impressive. But unfortunately, I have to inform you that in 2007, a very inspired NYU PhD student counted all the models on the runway, every single one was hired, and of the 677 models that were hired, only 27, or less than 4%, were non-white. The next question people always ask me is, can I be a model when I grow up? And the first answer is, I don't know, they don't put me in charge of that. But the second answer, and what I really want to say to these little girls, is why? You know, you can be anything. You could be the President of the United States, or the inventor of the next internet, or a ninja cardiothoracic surgeon poet, which would be awesome because you'd be the first one. If after this amazing list they still are like, no, Cameron, I want to be a model, well, then I say, be my boss. Because I'm not in charge of anything. And you could be the editor-in-chief of American Vogue, or the CEO of H&M, or the next Stephen Meisel. Saying you want to be a model when you grow up is akin to saying that you want to win the Powerball when you grow up. It's out of your control, and it's awesome, and it's not a career path. I will demonstrate for you now 10 years of accumulated model knowledge, because unlike cardiothoracic surgeons, it can just be distilled right into right now. So if the photographer is right there, and the light is right there like a nice HMI, and the client says, Cameron, we want a walking shot, well, then this light goes first, nice and long, this arm goes back, this arm goes forward, the head is at 3/4, and you just go back and forth. Just do that. And then you look back at your imaginary friends. 300, 400, 500 times. It will look something like this. Hopefully less awkward than that one in the middle. I don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, after you've gone to school and you have a resume and you've done a few jobs, you can't say anything anymore. So if you say you want to be the President of the United States, but your resume reads underwear model 10 years, people give you a funny look. The next question people always ask me is, do they retouch all the photos? And yeah, they pretty much retouch all the photos, but that is only a small component of what's happening.
I turned 73.
No!
And I need no injections, no surgeries, no doctors.
But how?
Tai Chi walking, 10 minutes a day. I do it for a month. Most women walk wrong. That is why they don't lose weight.
My wife wants to get toned before our daughter's wedding. How does she lose 44 pounds before the wedding?
How old is your wife?
She's 56.
Oh, perfect. She just needs to start Tai Chi walking.
But my wife hates walking. She doesn't want to waste 2 hours every day.
That's why Tai Chi walking is different. Just 9 minutes a day, and by the end of the month, you won't even recognize her.
But what if she hasn't worked out in years?
That's even better. Tai Chi walking was built for women 40 plus.
Isn't the gym better?
After 40, Tai Chi walking is a powerful way to lose weight fast, not the gym.
Does she need any equipment?
No, her body is enough. Just do it for 9 minutes a day and see your body get younger.
So what's the first step?
Click the link, get the app, and start tomorrow.
या फोन साइलेंट पर था
If you're struggling with depression or anxiety, even related to PTSD, standard protocols include talk therapy, often in conjunction with antidepressants. But for many, it can fall short. People feel hopeless, left behind by their treatment team. So for those of you with treatment-resistant mental health issues, what is the alternative? Or perhaps it's someone you love. Some people are turning to ketamine microdose therapy to enhance and bring joy back to their life. I'm here now with Dr. Bobby K. Lieben. She is co-founder and chief medical officer of Joyous. Appreciate you being here. This fascinates me. I'm a fan of ketamine, also a fan of telehealth. And I love how you guys are bringing those two things together. Tell me about that.
Being able to deliver it via telemedicine helps with accessibility, affordability, and we've designed a program that's able to deliver it as safe as possible at home.
Inspired by promising studies and lives transformed, clinics offering ketamine for various mental health issues have emerged nationwide. But how does it work?
So, the Joyous treatment plan is a breakthrough, accessible, effective way for people who are struggling with depression and anxiety. We utilize very low doses of ketamine. Our patients, unlike other ketamine treatments, are staying fully coherent and functional when they take the medication. We also use technology to monitor our patients, and we adjust their doses almost on a daily basis.
Monica Patterson, a patient who had been struggling with severe depression for years, had lost hope after traditional treatments failed to show improvement.
That when you have that PTSD, it just kind of makes you believe that the whole world is bad, and everything is bad. And now with Joyous, it's not like that.
The patients are very much aware, able to speak and direct their attention however they intend to. If they're at home working with meditation or psychological exercises, they're still better able to grapple with the difficult emotions that are typically too overwhelming to deal with.
Remember, the path to healing is best traveled with support and care, ensuring your journey is a safe and transformative one.
So there is an epidemic. There's millions of Americans suffering with mental health disorders.
Oh, yes.
So the traditional treatments for anxiety and depression are only helping a small fraction of those patients. Ketamine has been found to potentially be a breakthrough treatment for those patients. The form that we deliver the medication in is specifically designed to deliver low doses of medication slowly. We call it a psycholytic dose, where patients are coherent, they're engaged with their environments, they're able to carry on with their days. It's paired with curated treatment courses. We have cutting-edge technology that we're able to monitor our patients on a daily basis. We're able to monitor and personalize their individual dose and make sure that they're getting the best outcomes from treatment.
To me, that's the big breakthrough. To walk in a doctor's office and get treatment for depression or anxiety is hard for people. I actually really appreciate you doing this for a number of reasons. One is mental health and telehealth have got to be improved, and you guys are moving it that way, and I appreciate that. Two, people that have tried a lot of stuff get a little desperate, they give up on the healthcare system, they may not know about this option, and they should. And finally, the cost. You guys are making it accessible.
The Joyous treatment protocol, which is the low-dose treatment paired with the curated treatment courses, is $129 a month.
And that with the curated treatment.
Yes.
That is remarkable.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
it's not heard of in terms of, I don't know if people are aware, but the cost of mental health care is substantial. And so thank you for doing that. Is there also coverage, or is that, it's all?
There's no insurance coverage at this time. Patients are able to put it for their HSA accounts, but not direct insurance coverage.
But $129 a month would be less than most people's copay for mental health care. So thank you for doing that. And for more information, visit joyous.team, T-E-A-M, joyous.team.
Of what's happening.
This picture is the very first picture that I ever took, and it's also the very first time that I had worn a bikini. And I didn't even have my period yet. I know we're getting personal, but I was a young girl. This is what I looked like with my grandma just a few months earlier. Here's me on the same day as the shoot. My friend got to come with me. Here's me at a slumber party a few days before I shot French Vogue. Here's me on the soccer team in NV Magazine. And here's me today. And I hope what you're seeing is that these pictures are not pictures of me, they are constructions. And they are constructions by professionals, by hairstylists and makeup artists and photographers and stylists and all of their assistants and pre-production and post-production. And they build this, that's not me. Okay, so the next question people always ask me is, do you get free stuff? I do have too many Aiden Shields, which I never get to wear, except for earlier. But the free stuff that I get is the free stuff that I get in real life, and that's what we don't like to talk about. I grew up in Cambridge, and one time I went into a store and I forgot my money, and they gave me the dress for free. When I was a teenager, I was driving with my friend, who was an awful driver, and she ran a red, and of course, we got pulled over. And all it took was a sorry officer, and we were on our way. And I got these free things because of how I look, not who I am. And there are people paying a cost for how they look and not who they are. I live in New York. And last year, of the 140,000 teenagers that were stopped and frisked, 86% of them were Black and Latino, and most of them were young men. And there are only 177,000 young Black and Latino men in New York. So for them, it's not a question of will I get stopped, but how many times will I get stopped? When will I get stopped? When I was researching this talk, I found out that of the 13-year-old girls in the United States, 53% don't like their bodies. And that number goes to 78% by the time that they're 17. So the last question people ask me is, what is it like to be a model? And I think the answer that they're looking for is, if you are a little bit skinnier and you have shinier hair, you will be so happy and fabulous. And when we're backstage, we give an answer that maybe makes it seem like that. We say, it's really amazing to travel, and it's amazing to get to work with creative, inspired, passionate people. And those things are true, but they're only one half of the story, because the thing that we never say on camera, that I have never said on camera, is I am insecure. And I'm insecure because I have to think about what I look like every day. And if you ever are wondering, if I have thinner thighs and shinier hair, will I be happier? You just need to meet a group of models, because they have the thinnest thighs and the shiniest hair and the coolest clothes, and they're the most physically insecure women probably on the planet. So when I was writing this talk, I found it very difficult to strike an honest balance, because on the one hand, I felt very uncomfortable to come out here and say, look, I've received all these benefits from a deck stacked in my favor. And it also felt really uncomfortable to follow that up with, and it doesn't always make me happy. But mostly it was difficult to unpack a legacy of gender and racial oppression when I'm one of the biggest beneficiaries. But I'm also happy and honored to be up here, and I think that it's great I got to come, before 10 or 20 or 30 years had passed and I'd had more agency in my career. Because maybe then I wouldn't tell the story of how I got my first job, or maybe I wouldn't tell the story of how I paid for college, which seems so important right now. If there's a takeaway to this talk, I hope is that we all feel more comfortable acknowledging the power of image in our perceived successes and our perceived failures. Okay, thank you.
Save time creating content and generate a high-quality clone of your voice with 11 Labs. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice-generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for free and start elevating your content today.
गिड़गिड़ाई, घुटनों पे बैठी माफी मांगी, मिल गई।
Namaskar. I'm a movie star. I'm 51 years of age. And I don't use Botox as yet. I'm clean, but I do behave like you saw, like a 21-year-old in my movies. Yeah, I do that. I sell dreams, and I peddle love to millions of people back home in India who assume that I'm the best lover in the world. If you don't tell anyone, I'm going to tell you I'm not, but I never let that assumption go away. I've also been made to understand there are lots of you here who haven't seen my work, and I feel really sad for you. That doesn't take away from the fact that I'm completely self-obsessed as a movie star should be. That's when my friends Chris and Juliet called me here to speak about the future you. Naturally it follows I'm going to speak about the present me. Because I truly believe that humanity is a lot like me. It is. It's an aging movie star. Grappling with all the newness around itself, wondering whether it got it right in the first place, and still trying to find a way to keep on shining regardless. I was born in a refugee colony in the capital city of India, New Delhi. And my father was a freedom fighter. My mother was, just a fighter like mothers are. And much like the original Homo sapiens, we struggled to survive. When I was in my early 20s, I lost both my parents, which I must admit seems a bit careless of me now. I do remember the night my father died, and I remember the driver of a neighbor who was driving us to the hospital. He mumbled something about dead people don't tip so well and walk away into the dark. And I was only 14 then, and I put my father's dead body in the back seat of the car. And my mother besides me, I started driving back from the hospital to the house. And in the middle of a quiet crying, my mother looked at me and she said, "Son, when did you learn to drive?" And I thought about it and realized, and I said to my mom, "Just now, Mom." So from that night onwards, much akin to humanity in its adolescence, I learned the crude tools of survival. And the framework of life was very, very simple then, to be honest. I thought, you just ate what you got and did whatever you were told to do. I thought a celiac was a vegetable. And vegan, of course, was Mr. Spock's lost comrade in Star Trek. You married the first girl that you dated, and you were a techie if you could fix the carburetor in your car. I really thought that gay was a sophisticated English word for happy. And lesbian, of course, was the capital of Portugal, as you all know. So, we relied on systems created through the toil and sacrifice of generations before to protect us. And we felt that governments actually worked for our betterment. Science was simple and logical. Apple was still then just a fruit, owned by Eve first and then Newton, not by Steve Jobs, till then unambiguous. And Eureka is what you screamed when you wanted to run naked on the streets. You went wherever life took you for work, and people were mostly welcoming of you. Migration was a term then still reserved for Siberian cranes, not human beings. Most importantly, you were who you were, and you said what you thought. Then in my late 20s, I shifted to the sprawling metropolis of Mumbai, and my framework, like the newly industrialized aspirational humanity, began to alter. In the urban rush for a new, more embellished survival, things started to look a little different. I met people who had descended from all over the world. Faces, races, genders, money lenders. Definitions became more and more fluid. Work began to define you at that time in an overwhelmingly equalizing manner. And all the systems started to feel less reliable, almost too thick to hold on to the diversity of mankind and the human need to progress and grow. Ideas were flowing with more freedom and speed, and I experienced the miracle of human innovation and cooperation, and my own creativity, when supported by the resourcefulness of this collective endeavor, catapulted me into superstar. I started to feel that I had arrived. And generally, by the time I was 40, I was really flying. I was all over the place. I'd done 50 films by then, and 200 songs. And I'd been knighted by the Malaysians. I'd been given the highest civil honor by the French government, the title of which for the life of me I can't pronounce even till now. So I'm sorry, France, and thank you, France, for doing that. But much bigger than that, I got to meet Angelina Jolie for 2.5 seconds. And I'm sure she also remembers that encounter. Maybe not. And I sat next to Hannah Montana on a round dinner table with her back towards me most of the time. Like I said, I was flying from Miley to Jolie. And humanity was soaring with me. We were both pretty much flying off the handle, actually. And then you all know what happened. The internet happened. I was in my late 40s, and I started tweeting like a canary in a birdcage. And assuming that, people who will peer into my world will admire it for the miracle I believed it to be. But something else awaited me and humanity. We had expected an expansion of ideas and dreams with the enhanced connectivity of the world. We had not bargained for the village-like enclosure of thought, of judgment, of definition that flowed from the same place that freedom and revolution was taking place in. Everything I said took a new meaning. Everything I did, good, bad, ugly, was there for the world to comment upon and judge. As a matter of fact, everything I didn't say or do also met with the same fate. 4 years ago, my lovely wife, Gauri, and me decided to have a third child. It was claimed on the net that he was the love child of a first child who was 15 years old. Apparently, he had sown his wild oats with the girl while driving her car in Romania. And there was a fake video to go with it. And we were so disturbed as a family. My son, who's 19 now, even now when you say hello to him, he just turns around and says, but bro, I didn't even have a European driving license. In this new world, slowly reality became virtual and virtual became real. And I started to feel that I could not be who I wanted to be or say what I actually thought. And humanity at this time completely identified with me. I think both of us were going through a midlife crisis. And humanity like me was becoming an overexposed prima donna. I started to sell everything from hair oil to diesel generators. Humanity was buying everything from crude oil to nuclear reactors. I even tried to get into a skin-tight superhero suit to reinvent myself. I must admit, I failed miserably. And just an aside, I want to say on behalf of all the Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman of the world, you have to commend them because it really hurts in the crotch, that superhero suit. I'm being honest, I need to tell you this, Really. And accidentally, I happened to even invent a new dance form, which I didn't realize, and it became a rage. So if it's all right, and you've seen a bit of me, so I'm quite shameless, I'll show you. It was called the Lungi dance. So if it's all right with you, I'll just show you. I'm talented otherwise, It went something like this. Lungi dance, 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 lungi dance. That's it. It became a rage. It really did.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and exclusive access to all things VIP, so you can superfan from your sofa. YouTube Premium, it's way more than ad-free. Try 1 month on us.
Like you noticed, nobody could make any sense of what was happening except me. And I didn't give a damn, really, because the whole world and whole humanity seemed as confused and lost as I was. I didn't give up then. I even tried to reconstruct my identity on the social media like everyone else does. I thought if I put on philosophical tweets out there, people will think I'm with it. But some of the responses I got for those tweets were extremely confusing acronyms which I didn't understand. ROFL, LOL. Adidas, somebody wrote back to one of my more thought-provoking tweets. And I was wondering, why would you name a sneaker? I mean, why would you write back a name of sneaker to me? And I asked my 16-year-old daughter, and she enlightened me. Adidas now means all day I dream about sex. So really, I don't know if you know that. And so I wrote back, WTF in bold to Mr. Adidas, thanking secretly that some acronyms and things won't change at all. WTF. But here we are. I'm 51 years old, like I told you, and mind-numbing acronyms notwithstanding, I just want to tell you, if there has been a momentous time for humanity to exist, it is now. Because the present you is brave. The present you is hopeful. The present you is innovative and resourceful. And of course, the present you is annoyingly indefinable. And in this spellbinding, imperfect moment of existence, feeling a little brave just before I came here, I decided to take a good hard look at my face. And I realized that I'm beginning to look more and more like the wax statue of me at Madame Tussauds. And in that moment of realization, I asked the most central and pertinent question to humanity and me. Do I need to fix my face? Really, I'm an actor, like I told you, a modern expression of human creativity. The land I come from is the source of inexplicable, but very simple spirituality. In its immense generosity, India decided somehow that I, the Muslim son of a broke freedom fighter, who accidentally ventured into the business of selling dreams, should become its king of romance, the Badshah of Bollywood, the greatest lover the country has ever seen. With this face. Which has alternately been described as ugly, unconventional, and strangely not chocolatey enough. The people of this ancient land embraced me in limitless love. And I've learned from these people that neither power nor poverty can make your life more magical or less torturous. I've learned from the people of my country that the dignity of a life, a human being, a culture, a religion, a country, actually resides in its ability for grace and compassion. I've learned that whatever moves you, whatever urges you to create, to build, whatever keeps you from failing, whatever helps you survive, is perhaps the oldest and the simplest emotion known to mankind. And that is love. A mystic poet from my land famously wrote, Pothi padi padi jug bhaya, Pandit bhaya na koi. Pothi padi padi jug bhaya, bhaya na pandit koi. Dhai aakhar prem ke, pade so pandit hoy. Which loosely translates into that whatever, if you know Hindi, please clap. It's very difficult to remember. Which loosely translates into actually saying that all the books of knowledge that you might read and then go ahead and impart your knowledge through innovation, through creativity, through technology. But mankind will never be the wiser about its future unless it is coupled with a sense of love and compassion for their fellow beings. The 2.5 alphabets which form the word prem, which means love, if you're able to understand that and practice it, that itself is enough to enlighten mankind. So I truly believe the future you has to be a you that loves. Otherwise it will cease to flourish. It will perish in its own self-absorption. So you may use your power to build walls and keep people outside. Or you may use it to break barriers and welcome them in. You may use your faith to make people afraid and terrify them into submission. Or you can use it to give courage to people so they rise to the greatest heights of enlightenment. You can use your energy to build nuclear bombs and spread the darkness of destruction, or you can use it to spread the joy of light to millions. You may fill up your oceans callously and cut down all the forests. You can destroy their ecology, or tend to them with love and regenerate life from their waters and trees. You may land on Mars and build armed citadels. Or you may look for life forms and species to learn from and respect. And you can use all the monies that we all have earned to wage futile wars and give guns in the hands of little children to kill each other with. Or you can use it to make more food to fill their stomachs with. My country has taught me the capacity for a human being to love is akin to godliness. It shines forth in a world, in a world which civilization, I think already has tampered too much with. In the last few days, the talks here, the wonderful people coming and showing their talent, talking about individual achievements, the innovation, the technology, the sciences, the knowledge we are gaining by being here in the presence of TED Talks, all of you, are reasons enough for us to celebrate the future. But within that celebration, the quest to cultivate our capacity for love and compassion has to assert itself, just as equally. So I believe the future you is an infinite you. It's called a chakra in India, like a circle. It ends where it begins from to complete itself. A you that perceives time and space differently, understands both. Your unimaginable and fantastic importance, and your complete unimportance in the larger context of the universe. A you that returns back to the original innocence of humanity, which loves from the purity of heart, which sees from the eyes of truth, which dreams with the untampered, which dreams from the clarity of an untampered mind. The future you has to be like an aging movie star, who has been made to believe that there is a possibility of a world which is completely, wholly, self-obsessively in love with itself. A world, really, it has to be you to create a world which is its own best lover. That I believe, ladies and gentlemen, should be the future you. Thank you very much.
राइटिंग, डांसिंग, सिंगिंग के अलावा मुझे पेंटिंग का कितना शौक है। बड़े बड़े पेंटर्स जैसे एमएफओ सेंसर, उनका एक बनाया हुआ घोड़ा ना 25-30 लाख का बिक जाता है। तो मैंने 4 घोड़े बनाए, 10-15 लाख में तो बिक ही जाएंगे। अच्छा, तो 5-7 लाख में तो असली घोड़ा आ जाता है, वो भी प्रॉपर साउंड के साथ। क्या कह रहे हैं?
अरे कुछ ना कह रहा हूँ, डेली मैं तुम्हारे टैलेंट की कदर करता हूँ। तुम्हें अपने घोड़े बेचने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
तो पार्टनरशिप देख रहे हैं चौके लड़का हिसाब से सीख गया।
साले किसी गलत मत रहना, मालिक मैं हूँ।
हाँ वो तो है पर
तो साइन कराओ, काम करते हैं।
साले बकवास तो तू कर रहा है। पैसे ट्रांसफर किए तूने? कल कराता हूँ। पैसे तो हो जाएंगे, पढ़ तो लो एक बार।
मैं कह रहा हूँ लोगों नियत खराब है स्टोर की। आजकल हर चीज में तेरा मेरा लगा है। ये होता है लड़की लाइफ में।
साला समझ में नहीं आता प्रॉब्लम क्या है। प्रॉब्लम ये कि वो लड़की है। और क्या प्रॉब्लम है? प्रॉब्लम ये कि हम चाहते हैं हमारी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम ही ना हो। लेकिन अगर हमारी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो तो ये उनकी लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। बेसिकली हर लड़की की लाइफ में एक उम्र आती है जब उसे रियलाइज होता है कि अब उसकी लाइफ एक ड्राइवर, एक बॉडीगार्ड, एक नौकर और एक एटीएम के बिना नहीं चल सकती। और अब हर लड़की इतना सब कुछ अफोर्ड कर सकती नहीं ना, तो लड़कियां ढूंढती बॉयफ्रेंड, ट्राई पे रखती, काम करती, काम अच्छा लगे तो नौकरी, परमानेंट शादी। शादी में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या होती है? मांग भरना। और आदमी को तो काम ही औरत की हर मांग भरना। अबे नौकरी जाने का पेपर वर्क भी खत्म नहीं होता, लड़की गायब। ऑफिस वाले इतनी जल्दी आई कार्ड नहीं मांगते जितनी जल्दी तलाक मांगती है। बेसिकली अगर एक बार भी लड़की को पर्स में हाथ डालना पड़ गया यानी गायब। पर्स में तो उनके मिस्टर इंडिया वाली खड़ी रखी होती है, साला हाथ डालो गायब। अगर सच में बिल भरना है ना तो बिल भरो। बिल भरना चाहने का नाटक मत करो। बिल के अमाउंट के हिसाब से बिल भरो, हर बार बिल भरो। और सुन, लड़कियां ना माँ बाप के सामने गिव अप मारने का सिर्फ नाटक करती है। ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि तुम 2 लाख कमा रहे हो और वो माँ बाप के प्रेशर में 50,000 वाले से शादी कर ले। वो माँ बाप से तब तक फाइट करती है जब तक वो एटलीस्ट तुम्हारे कंपैरिजन का कोई लड़का नहीं ढूंढ लाते। साला जब ब्रेकअप करेंगी तो ये नहीं कि बस चली जाए लाइफ से। साला 10 दिन तक डिस्कशन करेंगे कि क्यों कर रही है। अचानक से इस बात की टेंशन हो जाएगी कि तुमने खाना खाया कि नहीं। अबे इतनी टेंशन है तो छोड़ी क्यों रही हो? बेसिकली उन्हें चाहिए कि तुम उनसे पूछो तुमने खाना खाया, फिर वो कहेंगे फिर तुमको प्लीज खा लो, फिर वो रो और ये बात एस्टैब्लिश हो जाए कि ब्रेकअप उनके सियापे की वजह से हो रहा है। उसमें सबसे बड़ी विक्टिम वही है। सेल्फिश कहेगी अबे तू टाइटैनिक वाली को देख ले। चल माना कि लकड़ी पे एक आदमी पेट्रोल की जगह थी तो 15-15 मिनट की बारी नहीं ले सकते थे। ठीक है तुम्हें पहले चलने दिया, इसका मतलब लड़की सो जाओगी। मस्त ने नींद पूरी करके उठी। अबे तुमने ये कैसे डिक्लेयर कर दिया कि वो मर गया? तुम डॉक्टर हो, तुमने सुना कि बेहोश भी हो सकता था। नहीं, गुड मॉर्निंग नहीं बोला मतलब मर गया, नीचे चली गई। सोने से पहले बात करनी, उठने के बाद बात करनी। भाई दिल पूरा नहीं पड़ता क्या कि आदमी सोने से पहले 2 मिनट टेंशन ले नहीं सकता क्या? और क्या है डॉक्टर टू स्लीप? और चलो तुम सुलाने के लिए वो भी करने को राजी हो जाओ। लेकिन सोते रात में कौन सी भयानक घटना घट जाती है कि साथी ने तुमसे बात करनी है। 1 घंटा हो गया तुम्हारे फोन नहीं आया। अबे आधे घंटे को मुझे खुद जगाने में लग जाता है। फिर आदमी भागता है, ब्रश करता है, नहाता है, शुरू हुए दिन के बारे में सोचता है। हर आदमी का फंडामेंटल राइट है हट के सोचना। लेकिन ना इन्हें तुमसे तब भी बात करनी है। भाई शादीशुदा आदमी हमेशा ऑफिस के लिए लेट क्यों होते हैं? क्योंकि जो टाइम पे उठते हैं वो बात करने में लेट हो जाते हैं और जो समझदार है वो उठते ही लेट है कि सालों को तैयार हो भागो, बस बात ही ना करनी पड़े। और ये सब बर्दाश्त करने के बाद और इनका सबसे बड़ा सियापा ये है कि इन्हें सेक्स के बाद भी बात करनी है। अबे कौन बोल गया सेक्स अल्टीमेट क्लाइमैक्स ये बोलते हैं कि उसके बाद पिक्चर खत्म। मीठा खाने के बाद कुछ पीता है क्या? कभी-कभी तो मुझे लगता है कि वांटेड टू टॉक द ऑर्गेज़म। एक्चुअली ना अभी से सिर्फ 2 नीड होती है। आई लव यू और सॉरी। साला आई लव यू तो बोलेंगे व्हाई डू यू लव मी? इन्हें हर 2 महीने में जानना है व्हाई डू यू लव मी? या आई लव यू बट गिव मी 5 रीजंस व्हाई यू लव मी। अरे पागल हो यार, इतना कौन सोचता है बे? सुना नहीं तुमने प्यार एक एहसास है। और उससे भी बड़ा सियापा है सॉरी, क्योंकि इवेंचुअली हर आदमी थक के सॉरी बोल ही देता है। लेकिन सॉरी बोलने के बाद मामला खत्म नहीं होता। सॉरी बोलने के बाद असल मामला शुरू होता है कि तुम्हें पता भी तुमने सॉरी क्यों बोला। अरे तुम्हें ये भी नहीं पता तुमने सॉरी क्यों बोला। अरे जिस बारे में लड़ाई हो रही है उसी बारे में सॉरी बोलो ना। अरे कोई भी बात तुम समझाओ, मजा आ जाए। वही बात इनका एक बेस्ट फ्रेंड समझा दे तो 1 मिनट में समझ आ जाती है। सारा बेस्ट फ्रेंड का सियापा सूरज बन जाती है जी शुरू किया। बेस्ट फ्रेंड की टोपी पिना के दोस्ती में नो सॉरी नो थैंक यू। सर दोस्ती में प्लीज नहीं, दोस्ती में पूछना भी नहीं, दोस्ती में लिमिट ही नहीं। दोस्ती में लड़का लड़की के घर आके चाहे जितने दिन रहना चाहता है रह सकता है। दोस्ती में लड़की लड़की की गोद में बैठे प्लेटोनिक। दोस्ती में लड़की दारू पी के लड़की की पप्पी ले ले प्लेटोनिक। दोस्ती में लड़की के सामने कपड़े बदलना वो भी है। दोस्तों में तो शायद सेक्स भी प्लेटोनिक ही होता होगा। कपड़ों के बारे में जरा सा बोल दो, अचानक से फेमिनिस्ट टाइप हो जाएंगे। यू कैन टेल मी व्हाट टू वेयर। अरे जब तुम मुझे बता सकते हो कि मैं क्या पहनूं तो मेरा बताना अचानक से इक्वालिटी, लिबर्टी, इंडिविजुअलिटी, फ्रीडम, सोवेरेनिटी कैसे बन जाता है? और इस साला बहस किया फोन तो सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन है आदमी का। क्या है ना, हर रिलेशनशिप में स्टेज आती है जब आपको फोन पे बात करते हुए पता होता है कि इस कन्वर्सेशन में पॉइंट के बाद लड़ाई होगी, लेकिन आप फोन कट नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि लड़कियों के हिसाब से तो आपके फोन पे कट करने का बटन नहीं होना चाहिए। वो कट कर सकते क्योंकि वो उनका हक है या उनको मास्टरशेफ देखना है। लेकिन आपने क्योंकि एयरटेल फोन ही नहीं टीवी में भी आपके मारने के लिए आ गया। मैच रिकॉर्ड करो बाद में देखो। अबे औरतें कन्विंस होगी कि मैच रिकॉर्ड करके बाद में देखो। जनरल प्रोपोजिशन है। अबे कौन सा सेल्फ रिस्पेक्टिंग मर्द मैच बाद में रिकॉर्ड करके देखता है बे? पहले साले ये सर्विस प्रोवाइडर हमारी मार रहे थे कॉलेज करके, वो मार के उठे तो साले स्मार्टफोन वाले आ गए। अब बता ऐसी कौन सी जरूरत आ गई थी ऐसा ऐप बनाने की जिससे किसी को आपकी लोकेशन का पता चले? सिगरेट खरीदने के लिए रास्ते में रुक गया तो तुरंत फोन आ जाएगा। बेबी इट्स फाइन ना, मैंने देखा तुम 3.5 मिनट से कहीं पे रुके थे तो मैंने उसे फोन करके पूछ लूं। अबे मेरी माँ गाड़ी चलाते वक्त कितनी बार फोन करोगी तो मैं वैसे ही मर जाऊंगा। हला आदमी मर भी रहा हो ना तो भी शायद नहीं चाहिए कि बेबी मैं फोन करके बताता हूँ बेबी मैं मर रहा हूँ, वो यमराज ने आ गया ठीक है। तब भी इस बात की परवाह नहीं होगी कि आदमी मर रहा है। तब भी पूछेंगे कहाँ मर रहे हो, कैसे मर रहे हो? अरे तुमने बताया तुम्हारा मरने का प्लान था और कौन कौन से मर रहे? अच्छा अब तुम उसके साथ ही लगे सती जी ऐसी थोड़ी खिलाई थी अपने पति को यमराज से, उन्होंने ये नहीं कर दी होगी, कहा होगा ऐसे किसे कहा क्यों, यमराज बोला वो सारी बंदी गलती हो गई, ले जाओ वापस। एक तो हर लड़की का स्यापा है कि आई लव सरप्राइजेस, जबकि असल बात यह है कि women hate surprises. They just love the opportunity to pretend to be surprised. उन्हें पता होना चाहिए कि तुम कोई सरप्राइज प्लान कर रहे हो, उन्हें पता होना चाहिए कि क्या सरप्राइज प्लान कर रहे हो, लेकिन तुम्हारे थ्रू नहीं, किसी और के थ्रू। फिर उनकी असली खुशी बात में छुपी होती है कि उन्हें सरप्राइज पता होते हुए भी तुम उनके पास जाओ और चिल्लाओ सरप्राइज, और उन्हें और करने का मौका मिल जाए। लड़कियों के हर सवाल पे एक दूसरा सवाल छुपा होता है, लेयर्स होते हैं। तुम्हें लग रहा होगा वो तुमसे पूछ रही खोले कैसे बने, अगर तुम्हें अच्छे लगे ठीक है, गलती से भी उस खोले में कुछ कमी निकालो तो वो रेसिपी उसकी माँ ने दी होगी, और अगर तुम्हें उसकी माँ की दी रेसिपी से बने छोले नहीं पसंद, मतलब तुम उसकी फैमिली को हेट करते हो। लड़कियों को ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि उनके माँ बाप भगवान का रूप है? अगर तुम लाइफ में कुछ भी सीख सकते हो तो वो उसके माँ बाप से सीख सकते हो, और हाँ वो तुम्हारे माँ बाप के बारे में कुछ भी बोले कोई टेंशन नहीं, तुम उनके माँ बाप के बारे में जरा सी लाइन बोल दो तो थर्ड और फोर्थ वो दोनों एक साथ हो जाए। तुम मेरी माँ को मैनिपुलेट बोलो कोई टेंशन नहीं, मैंने तुम्हारी माँ को जरा सा टच क्या बोल दिया, इतनी टच हो जाती है भाई कि हफ्तों तक टच करने को ना मिले। सबके बावजूद हम लड़कियों के साथ और जो नहीं है वो डेस्परेटली लड़कियां ढूंढ रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि रिश्वत देती है वो। ब्राइड इज एन इंस्टीट्यूशन स्टार्टेड बाय वुमेन, क्योंकि इनके पास जो देने को रिश्वत है वो कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाली, और हम साले रिश्वतखोर अपनी मराए जा रहे हैं। तो अच्छा साले अपने हाथ से शादी कर लो।
आज है संडे, टाइम 9:30। मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक, ओनली ऑन रेडियो भरोसा।
हमारा नाम रघुवीर माता है और हम सीलिंग कराने वाले हैं। वापस 15 मिनट में फोन करेंगे आपको।
ये मेरा एक्सक्लूसिव है, आप बस मुझे प्राइम टाइम की सीट वापस दे दो।
तुम्हें तुम्हारी प्राइम टाइम की सीट मिल जाएगी। हम न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट नहीं करते बीच में, तुम बस हमारी रेटिंग्स ऊपर लाओ।
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक और आप देख रहे हैं भरोसा 24/7। जो भी कहूँगा सच कहूँगा। आज मैं एक एक्सक्लूसिव इंटरव्यू उस टेररिस्ट से बात करूँगा जिसने सीलिंग पर धमाका किया। रघुवीर जी, आप क्या चाहते हैं?
मिनिस्टर जयदेव पाटिल को फोन करके चलिए, हम बस उनसे सॉरी चाहते हैं। अगर वो नहीं आए तो सब मरेंगे। प्रीत सौम्या जी आपकी पत्नी है ना?
मैं हूँ सौम्या मेहरा पाठक। मैं जब भी कहूँगी आई लव यू कहूँगी, आई लव यू के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूँगी। Do you love me?
हम आपको 10 मिनट देंगे मंत्री जी को बुलाने के लिए।
मंत्री जी यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं आ सकते? माफी तो मांगिए, जनता के सेवा की बहुत है।
मैं तुम्हें अभी बचा सकती हूँ, तुमको बोलूँगी कि कंपनी चाहती है।
अगर माफी नहीं की तो पूरा ब्रिज उड़ा दूंगा।
पाठक जी,
जी
मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आखिर में सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा।
जी मैं भी उम्मीद करती हूँ कि सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा।
Welcome to the show.
Want to save $1,000 guaranteed? Switch 4 mobile lines to Spectrum and we'll give you free fiber-powered internet forever. Plus $1,000 in real savings in your first year guaranteed. Or we'll cover the difference. Switch and save $1,000 on internet and mobile.
Right now at Olive Garden, you can take care of 2 days worth of cravings. Because for a limited time, buy one, take one is here.
ਆਹੋ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੈੱਕਅਪ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਬਲੱਡ ਬਲੂਡ ਸੈਂਪਲ ਕਰਾ ਲਈਏ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਜੌਬ ਲਾਈਏ ਹੁਣ ਮੌਸਮ ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਫਿਲਮ ਵੀ ਕੱਢੀ ਆ ਜੌਬਸ ਫੁੱਲ ਮੂਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰਚ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ Amazon and YouTube ਤੇ ਐਂਡ LinkedIn ਤੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਜੌਬਸ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਪਾਰਟ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਧਰੋਂ ਵੀ ਪੈਸੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ
ਹੈਂ
ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਟੈਕਨੀਕਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਪਰੋਂ ਗਈ ਆ
ਸੋਨੇ
I would like now to introduce Jason King, Chair and Associate Professor of the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, Tisch School of the Arts, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Fine Arts. Will Trustee Brett Rockon please escort the candidate to the lectern?
Taylor Swift, blazing singer-songwriter, producer, director, actress, pioneering and influential advocate for artists' rights, and philanthropist. You have brought joy and resolve to your hundreds of millions of fans throughout the world. One of the best-selling music artists in history. You have crossed genres, demographics, age groups, and borders of all kinds to touch lives around the globe. With 9 original studio albums, 2 re-recorded studio albums, 5 extended plays, 3 live albums, and 14 compilations, you have sold well over 100 million album units, earning awards and honors in every category. You have used the remarkable platform you earned to galvanize support for the Equality Act, to prevent discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. And you have spoken out, and you have supported initiatives to protect women and girls from harassment and sexual assault. You have donated significantly to victims of floods and tornadoes, for cancer research, literacy programs for children, and public education. You have fearlessly challenged the exploitation of music artists and successfully championed their right to be compensated for their work. Taylor Swift. You are a role model across the world for your unprecedented talent and accomplishment, your fierce advocacy for protection of those facing discrimination, and your commitment to speaking out forcefully, eloquently, and effectively on behalf of all artists. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa. introduce Taylor Swift, who will respond on behalf of the honorary degree recipients.
Hi, I'm Taylor. Last time I was in a stadium this size, I was dancing in heels and wearing a glittery leotard. This outfit is much more comfortable. I would like to say a huge thank you to NYU's Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Bill Berkeley, and all the trustees and members of the board, NYU's President Andrew Hamilton, Provost Catherine Fleming, and the faculty and alumni here today who have made this day possible. I feel so proud to share this day with my fellow honorees, Susan Hockfield and Felix Matos Rodriguez, who humble me with the ways they improve our world with their work. As for me, I'm 90% sure the main reason I'm here is because I have a song called 22. And let me just say, I am elated to be here with you today as we celebrate and graduate New York University's class of 2022. Not a single one of us here today has done it alone. We are each a patchwork quilt of those who have loved us, those who have believed in our futures, those who showed us empathy and kindness, or told us the truth, even when it wasn't easy to hear. Those who told us we could do it, when there was absolutely no proof of that. Someone read stories to you and taught you to dream, and offered up some moral code of right and wrong for you to try and live by. Someone tried their best to explain every concept in this insanely complex world to the child that was you, as you asked a bazillion questions, like, how does the moon work, and why can we eat salad but not grass? And maybe they didn't do it perfectly. No one ever can. Maybe they aren't with us anymore. In that case, I hope you'll remember them today. If they are in this stadium, I hope you'll find your own way to express your gratitude for all the steps and missteps that have led us to this common destination. I know that words are supposed to be my thing, but I will never be able to find the words to thank my mom and dad, my brother Austin, for the sacrifices they made every day so I could go from singing in coffee houses to standing up here with you all today, because no words would ever be enough. To all the incredible parents, family members, mentors, teachers, allies, friends, and loved ones here today who have supported these students in their pursuit of educational enrichment. Let me say to you now, welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you. I'd like to thank NYU for making me, technically, on paper at least, a doctor. Not the type of doctor you would want around in case of an emergency. Unless your specific emergency was that you desperately needed to hear a song with a catchy hook and an intensely cathartic bridge section. Or if your emergency was that you needed a person who can name over 50 breeds of cats in 1 minute. I never got to have a normal college experience per se. I went to public high school until 10th grade, and then finished my education doing homeschool work on the floors of airport terminals. Then I went out on the road for radio tour, which sounds incredibly glamorous, but in reality, it consisted of a rental car, motels, and my mom and I pretending to have loud mother-daughter fights with each other during boarding so no one would want the empty seat between us on Southwest. As a kid, I always thought I would go away to college, imagining the posters I would hang on the wall of my freshman dorm. I even set the ending of my music video for my song Love Story at my fantasy imaginary college, where I meet a male model reading a book on the grass, and with one single glance, we realized we had been in love in our past lives. Which is exactly what you guys all experienced at some point in the last 4 years, right? But I really can't complain about not having a normal college experience to you, because you went to NYU during a global pandemic, being essentially locked into your dorms and having to do classes over Zoom. Everyone in college during normal times stresses about test scores, but on top of that, you also had to pass like 1,000 COVID tests. I imagine the idea of a normal college experience was all you wanted too. But in this case, you and I both learned that you don't always get all the things in the bag that you selected from the menu in the delivery service that is life. You get what you get. And as I would like to say to you wholeheartedly, you should be very proud of what you've done with it. Today, you leave New York University and then go out into the world searching what's next. And so will I. So as a rule, I try not to give anyone unsolicited advice unless they ask for it. I'll go into this more later. I guess I have been officially solicited in this situation to impart whatever wisdom I might have to tell you things that have helped me so far in my life. Please bear in mind that I in no way feel qualified to tell you what to do. You've worked and struggled and sacrificed and studied and dreamed your way here today. And so, you know what you're doing. You'll do things differently than I did them, and for different reasons. So I won't tell you what to do, because no one likes that. I will, however, give you some life hacks I wish I knew when I was starting out my dreams of a career and navigating life, love, pressure, choices, shame, hope, and friendship. The first of which is, life can be heavy, especially if you try to carry it all at once. Part of growing up and moving into new chapters of your life is about catch and release. What I mean by that is knowing what things to keep and what things to release. You can't carry all things, all grudges, all updates on your ex, all enviable promotions your school bully got at the hedge fund his uncle started. Decide what is yours to hold and let the rest go. Oftentimes, the good things in your life are lighter anyway, so there's more room for them. One toxic relationship can outweigh so many wonderful, simple joys. You get to pick what your life has time and room for. Be discerning. Secondly, Learn to live alongside cringe. No matter how hard you try to avoid being cringe, you will look back on your life and cringe retrospectively. Cringe is unavoidable over a lifetime. Even the term cringe might someday be deemed cringe. I promise you, you're probably doing or wearing something right now that you will look back on later and find revolting and hilarious. You can't avoid it, so don't try to. For example, I had a phase where, for the entirety of 2012, I dressed like a 1950s housewife. But you know what? I was having fun. Trends and phases are fun. Looking back and laughing is fun. And while we're talking about things that make us squirm but really shouldn't, I'd like to say I'm a big advocate for not hiding your enthusiasm for things. It seems to me that there is a false stigma around eagerness in our culture of unbothered ambivalence. This outlook perpetuates the idea that it's not cool to want it. That people who don't try are fundamentally more chic than people who do. And I wouldn't know because I've been a lot of things, but I've never been an expert on chic. But I'm the one who's up here, so you have to listen to me when I say this. Never be ashamed of trying. Effortlessness is a myth. The people who wanted it the least were the ones I wanted to date and be friends with in high school. The people who wanted the most are the people I now hire to work for my company. I started writing songs when I was 12, and since then, it's been the compass guiding my life, and in turn, my life guided my writing. Everything I do is just an extension of my writing, whether it's directing videos or a short film, creating the visuals for a tour, or standing on a stage performing. Everything is connected by my love of the craft. The thrill of working through ideas and narrowing them down and polishing it all up in the end, editing, waking up in the middle of the night, throwing out the old idea because you just thought of a newer, better one, or a plot device that ties the whole thing together. There's a reason they call it a hook. Sometimes a string of words just ensnares me, and I can't focus on anything until it's been recorded or written down. As a songwriter, I've never been able to sit still or stay in one creative place for too long. I've made and released 11 albums, and in the process, switched genre from country to pop to alternative to folk. And this might sound like a very songwriter-centric line of discussion, but in a way, I really do think we are all writers. And most of us write in a different voice for different situations. You write differently in your Instagram stories than you do your senior thesis. You send a different type of email to your boss than you do your best friend from home. We are all literary chameleons, and I think it's fascinating. It's just a continuation of the idea that we are so many things all the time. And I know it can be really overwhelming figuring out who to be and when. Who you are now, and how to act in order to get where you want to go. I have some good news. It's totally up to you. I have some terrifying news. It's totally up to you. I said to you earlier that I don't ever offer advice unless someone asks me for it, and now I'll tell you why. As a person who started my very public career at the age of 15, it came with a price. And that price was years of unsolicited advice. Being the youngest person in every room for over a decade meant that I was constantly being issued warnings from older members of the music industry, media, interviewers, executives, and this advice often presented itself as thinly veiled warnings. See, I was a teenager at a time when our society was absolutely obsessed with the idea of having perfect young female role models. It felt like every interview I did included slight barbs by the interviewer about me one day running off the rails. And that meant a different thing to every person who said it to me. So I became a young adult while being fed the message that if I didn't make any mistakes, all the children of America would grow up to be perfect angels. However, if I did slip up, the entire earth would fall off its axis, and it would be entirely my fault, and I would go to pop star jail forever and ever. It was all centered around the idea that mistakes equal failure, and ultimately the loss of any chance at a happy or rewarding life. This has not been my experience. My experience has been that my mistakes led to the best things in my life. And being embarrassed when you mess up, it's part of the human experience. Getting back up, dusting yourself off, and seeing who still wants to hang out with you afterward and laugh about it, that's a gift. The times I was told no, or wasn't included, wasn't chosen, didn't win, didn't make the cut. Looking back, it really feels like those moments were as important, if not more crucial, than the moments I was told yes. Not being invited to the parties and sleepovers in my hometown made me feel hopelessly lonely. But because I felt alone, I would sit in my room and write the songs that would get me a ticket somewhere else. Having label executives in Nashville tell me that only 35-year-old housewives listen to country music, and there was no place for a 13-year-old on their roster, made me cry in the car on the way home. But then I'd post my songs on my MySpace. And yes, MySpace. And I would message with other teenagers like me who loved country music, but just didn't have anyone singing from their perspective. Having journalists write in-depth, oftentimes critical pieces about who they perceived me to be made me feel like I was living in some weird simulation. But it also made me look inward to learn about who I actually am. Having the world treat my love life like a spectator sport in which I lose every single game was not a great way to date in my teens and 20s. But it taught me to protect my private life fiercely. Being publicly humiliated over and over again at a young age was excruciatingly painful. But it forced me to devalue the ridiculous notion of minute-by-minute, ever-fluctuating social relevance and likability. Getting canceled on the internet and nearly losing my career gave me an excellent knowledge of all the types of wine. I know I sound like a consummate optimist, but I'm really not. I lose perspective all the time. Sometimes everything just feels completely pointless. I know the pressure of living your life through the lens of perfectionism. And I know that I'm talking to a group of perfectionists because you are here today graduating from NYU. this might be hard for you to hear. In your life, you will inevitably misspeak, trust the wrong person, underreact, overreact, hurt the people who didn't deserve it, overthink, not think at all, self-sabotage, create a reality where only your experience exists, ruin perfectly good moments for yourself and others, deny any wrongdoing, not take the steps to make it right, feel very guilty, let the guilt eat at you, hit rock bottom, finally address the pain you caused, try to do better next time, rinse, repeat. And I'm not going to lie. These mistakes will cause you to lose things. I'm trying to tell you that losing things doesn't just mean losing. A lot of the time, when we lose things, we gain things too. Now you leave the structure and framework of school and chart your own path. Every choice you make leads to the next choice, which leads to the next, and I know it's hard to know which path to take. There will be times in life where you need to stand up for yourself. Times when the right thing is actually to back down and apologize.
Times when the right thing is to fight. Times when the right thing is to turn and run. Times to hold on with all you have. And times to let go with grace. Sometimes the right thing to do is to throw out the old schools of thought in the name of progress and reform. Sometimes the right thing to do is to sit and listen to the wisdom of those who have come before us. How will you know what the right choice is in these crucial moments? You won't. How do I give advice to this many people about their life choices? I won't. The scary news is you're on your own now. But the cool news is you're on your own now. I leave you with this. We are led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires and fears, our scars and our dreams. And you will screw it up sometimes. So will I.
And when I do, you will most likely read about it on the internet. Anyway, hard things will happen to us. We will recover. We will learn from it. We will grow more resilient because of it. And as long as we are fortunate enough to be breathing, we will breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, and breathe out. And I am a doctor now, so I know how breathing works. I hope you know how proud I am to share this day with you. We're doing this together, so let's just keep dancing like we're the class of 22.
at stanford.edu.
वो बिल्डिंग का दो वर्करों ने करी थी।
Thank you. I'm honored to be with you today for your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. Truth be told, I never graduated from college, and this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. Except that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working-class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture. And I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in the garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When we did, our board of directors sided with him. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer-animated feature film, Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Lorene and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle. My third story is about death. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, if you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right. It made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything. You thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes. I lived with that diagnosis all day. Later that evening, I had a biopsy where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, through my stomach into my intestines, put a needle into my pancreas and got a few cells from the tumor. I was sedated, but my wife, who was there, told me that when they viewed the cells under a microscope, the doctors started crying because it turned out to be a very rare form of pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. I had the surgery, and thankfully, I'm fine now. This was the closest I've been to facing death, and I hope it's the closest I get for a few more decades. Having lived through it, I can now say this to you with a bit more certainty than when death was a useful but purely intellectual concept. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. When I was young, there was an amazing publication called the Whole Earth Catalog, which was one of the Bibles of my generation. It was created by a fellow named Stuart Brand, not far from here in Menlo Park, and he brought it to life with his poetic touch. This was in the late 60s, before personal computers and desktop publishing, so it was all made with typewriters, scissors, and Polaroid cameras. It was sort of like Google in paperback form 35 years before Google came along. It was idealistic, overflowing with neat tools and great notions. Stuart and his team put out several issues of the Whole Earth Catalog, and then, when it had run its course, they put out a final issue. It was the mid-1970s, and I was your age. On the back cover of their final issue was a photograph of an early morning country road, the kind you might find yourself hitchhiking on if you were so adventurous. Beneath it were the words, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." It was their farewell message as they signed off. Stay hungry, stay foolish. And I've always wished that for myself. And now, as you graduate to begin anew, I wish that for you. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you all very much.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Stanford University.
Please visit us at stanford.edu.